Thanksgiving dinner blew up right between the mashed potatoes and the damn cranberry sauce. We were all sitting around my Aunt Linda's farmhouse table in upstate New York. Big spread, everyone dressed up, even the kids behaving for once. My fiancée, Jenna, was sitting to my left, holding my hand under the table. My cousin Ryan was across from us, arm around his girlfriend Kara like everything was normal. I was carving my second slice of turkey when Jenna suddenly said, "Way too loud. I can't do this anymore. I'm in love with Ryan." Forks dropped. My mom gasped. My Aunt Linda blinked like she misheard. Ryan's hand froze on Kara's shoulder, and Kara just stared at Jenna like she'd grown another head. I didn't say anything right away, just reached for my napkin, wiped my hands, and set it down real calm. Everyone was waiting for me to lose it. Instead, I looked Jenna straight in the eye and said, "Thanks for telling me. I already knew." Ryan's face drained fast. Kara leaned away from him, her mouth slightly open like she was about to throw up. I reached into my jacket and pulled out a thick envelope, slid it across the table toward Ryan. "That's the legal notice," I said. "You'll see the paperwork for the buyout inside. We're done. I've already filed to dissolve our partnership. Financing's lined up. And Jenna," I turned to her, still calm, my voice even, "you've been served papers to vacate the apartment. My name's the only one on the lease, remember? Shouldn't be too hard to pack since most of your stuff's already at Ryan's anyway." My dad tried to say something, but I stood up. "I won't be needing dessert." Nobody stopped me. Nobody said a word. Just dead silence except for Kara, quietly whispering, "Are you serious?" to Ryan like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. I walked out the front door, into the cold without slamming it. Just one clean step after the other. Didn't bother grabbing my coat. I wasn't coming back. I got back to my apartment around 9 that night, dropped my keys on the counter, opened a beer, and sat in silence. 10 minutes later, my phone lit up. Ryan. First call, I ignored it. Second call, I watched it ring out. Then the text started flying in. "What the hell is wrong with you? You embarrassed me in front of the whole family. We could have handled this privately." Privately? The guy was sleeping with my fiancée for almost a year behind my back. I tossed the phone on the couch and left it there vibrating. Let him wear himself out. Next morning, I was brushing my teeth when the buzzer screamed from the front door panel. I hit the camera screen. There she was. Jenna. Hoodie. No makeup. Red eyes. Pounding on the glass like a cop. I hit the intercom. "You don't live here anymore, Jenna. You changed the locks?" she yelled. "Seriously. My name's on the lease. You got served yesterday. You can't just throw me out like garbage," she shouted, backing up to look at the windows. "You're being cruel, Kyle. You blindsided me." I kept my voice flat. "I didn't blindside you. You just thought I wouldn't do anything." She started crying right there on the sidewalk. Full-on sobbing, pacing in circles like someone stole her dog. Then she dropped to sit on the steps, head in her hands. "You should have talked to me," she said, still crying. "We could have worked it out." I had to laugh. "You've been working Ryan for a year. You made your call. I didn't mean for it to happen," she said, pulling her hair back. "It just..." I cut her off. "You need to leave, Jenna." "No. I'm not going anywhere until we talk face to face." I clicked off the intercom and called building security. Told them a former tenant was trespassing and refusing to leave. They came up fast. She argued with them for a few minutes before I saw her storm off, still crying, dragging her purse like it weighed 50 pounds. An hour later, my phone blew up again, this time from her friends and her sister. "You didn't have to kick her out like that. She's devastated. What kind of man does this? You humiliated her in public, and now you're leaving her homeless?" I didn't bother calling any of them, just sent the same short text to each. "She cheated on me with my cousin for over 10 months. I have proof. She's been lying to all of us." A few read it and never replied. One said, "Wait, what?" and went quiet. Her sister wrote back, "That's still no excuse to treat her like trash." I blocked her. I wasn't looking for revenge. I wasn't smashing stuff or throwing all her clothes out the window. I gave her the legal notice, changed the locks, and kept my distance. I didn't yell. I didn't cuss anyone out. But people still acted like I was the villain for not getting cheated on politely. I spent that night tossing out everything she'd left behind. Half-empty shampoo bottles, old hoodies, some jewelry she forgot in the bathroom drawer. I boxed it all up, labeled it with her name, and left it at the front desk. Didn't sleep much. Didn't really care. Let them call me cold. I'd rather be cold than stupid. The next call came from my mom. I was halfway through a leftover sandwich when her name popped up. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something told me she wasn't going to give up. I answered on the third ring. "Kyle," she said, her voice shaking. "What is going on?" "I've been crying since dinner." I let out a breath. "You want the short version or the real one? Please, honey, just tell me what happened." I didn't sugarcoat it. Jenna and Ryan were sleeping together behind my back. I found messages, hotel receipts, photos, everything. I've known for weeks. I waited to deal with it all at once. And I did. She went silent. I heard her sniffle on the other end, like she didn't know what to say. Then Dad's voice came through the speaker. "You blindsided everyone, son. That was a hell of a way to drop it." I didn't blindside anyone. I stopped letting people lie to my face. "Kyle," he sighed, "you and Ryan have known each other since diapers. This is bad, yeah, but family should stick together." I stood up, sandwich forgotten on the plate. "No, family doesn't screw you over. That's not family. That's just people with matching blood." Neither of them said anything, so I opened my laptop and pulled up the folder I'd saved. Screenshots of texts between Jenna and Ryan. Emails, phone logs, the works. I sent it to both of them. "Check your inbox. Let me know if you still want to play the stick-together card after that." They didn't call back that night. By the end of the week, the rest of the family started chiming in. Uncle Derek called, trying to play mediator. "Listen, man, everyone's upset. I get it. You just caught them at a bad time. Emotions run high. Maybe we don't throw a grenade into the family over one mistake." "One mistake," I said. 10 months of sneaking around, lying, and screwing behind my back while we built a business together. You think that's one mistake?" He tried to laugh it off. "You know what I mean. Maybe just take a breath. Cool off. Talk it out." I cut him off. "Pick a side, Derek, or stay the hell out of it." Then Ryan's mom, Aunt Melanie, called. I didn't even save her number, but I recognized the voice right away. "I think you're making this a much bigger deal than it needs to be," she said. "Excuse me? Jenna's young. Ryan made a mistake. These things happen in relationships, especially before marriage. No reason to destroy everything over some growing pains." I stared at the phone like it just slapped me. "Growing pains?" She sighed, like I was the one being difficult. "I just don't want this to ruin the whole family dynamic, especially over a girl. She's not just a girl. She was my fiancé, and he wasn't just a cousin. He was my business partner." "You're overreacting," she snapped. I hung up, then blocked her. I was done making people comfortable while they stabbed me in the back. You don't get to cheer for the cheaters and still ask me to come to Sunday dinner like nothing happened. I was in Bay 3 under a lifted F-150, checking a busted transmission line, when I heard the shop door slam hard enough to rattle the windows. I slid out from under the truck, wiped my hands, and looked up. Ryan was standing dead center in the garage, fists clenched, face red. No appointment, no warning. Just walked in like he still had a right to be there. "You really think you can just push me out like that?" he snapped. "I didn't move. I didn't push you out. You signed the agreement 3 years ago. You want to fight it? Go through the buyout terms. It's all legal." "You undervalued my share," he said, jabbing a finger toward me. "You went behind my back and had some lawyer cook up numbers to screw me." I didn't blink. "I hired a certified business valuation firm. Independent. Full audit. That number's real. You want to contest it? Bring your own numbers." "You planned this," he said. "You've been setting me up, acting all cool while you stabbed me in the back." I folded my arms. You cheated with my fiancée for almost a year while I worked beside you every day. You want to talk about stabbing people in the back? He ran a hand through his hair, pacing. It wasn't like that, man. You don't get it. Me and Jenna, we didn't mean for it to happen. We just felt something. Oh, you felt something? I said, voice flat. That's your excuse? Things happen, he said, like he was defending a parking ticket. We caught feelings. We didn't plan it. I stared at him, waiting to feel something. Anger, sadness, anything. But I didn't. I was already past it. It's done, I said. The papers are in motion. You'll get the money and then you're out. I'm moving on. You should too. He stepped closer, jaw tight. You think you're better than me now? Just because you pulled this whole dramatic stunt at Thanksgiving and got everyone's attention? I think I kept my dignity while you couldn't keep your pants zipped, I said. That was when he lunged. He shoved me hard in the chest, enough to make me stumble back into the lift. Before I could react, someone grabbed him from behind. Ray, our shop foreman, yanked him off me like he was a drunk at a bar. Back the hell off, Ray barked, pinning him by the shoulder. This is still a place of business, not your personal soap opera. Ryan tried to shake loose, but Ray didn't let go. I stepped forward, brushing the dust off my shirt. You're done here, I said. This is no longer your business, and you're not welcome on the property again. I don't care if it's for a wrench you left behind or a damn oil rag. Ryan looked at me like I'd slapped him. His eyes darted around the garage, like maybe he expected the guys to back him up. No one did. They just kept working, keeping their heads down. Nobody spoke. Ray finally let go, giving him a light shove toward the door. Time to leave, man. Don't make it worse. Ryan didn't say another word. He turned, stormed out the way he came in, slamming the shop door behind him. I watched him go, then turned back to the F-150 and slid under it like nothing happened. 3 days after Ryan stormed out of the shop, I got a letter from his lawyer. He was trying to block the buyout. Claimed the agreement we signed 3 years ago was coerced and unfair. Said I took advantage of him, rushed the paperwork, didn't give him proper counsel. Total bull. I called my lawyer Evan. Solid guy, used to play baseball with him in high school. He wasn't surprised. Called it, he said, flipping through the packet. But you're good. We've got the original agreement, email threads, even the time-stamped PDF from the notary. He signed willingly, and the terms haven't changed. Let's bury them in facts, I said. So we did. I hired a forensic accountant, someone Evan recommended. She went through the company books like a bloodhound. Within a week, she flagged over 12 grand in personal expenses Ryan had run through the business account. Fancy dinners, hotel rooms, even flights. All logged under client relations. He'd been taking Jenna on company dime. We pulled the records, printed them out, highlighted everything in yellow. The folder kept growing. Evan called it the Book of Dumb Decisions. While we were prepping that, Jenna fired her own shot. Her new lawyer sent a letter claiming emotional abuse and mental distress. She wanted half of everything, business equity, savings, even a portion of my retirement account. I didn't panic. I had receipts, too. See, about 2 months before I found out, things were getting weird between us. Jenna acting distant, blaming me for being too busy with the shop. I'd suggested couples counseling. She agreed, probably thinking it was a safe cover. Turned out it was the smartest thing I ever did. Our therapist, Dr. Ellis, kept records. Every session, every lie. Jenna never once mentioned abuse. Never even hinted at mistreatment. When Evan subpoenaed her notes, they contradicted every claim Jenna was trying to sell. I filed a counterclaim, fault-based. Infidelity, breach of trust, misrepresentation. I wasn't about to let her walk off with half of what I built. Then came the stall tactics. Ryan's lawyer started requesting continuances, filing motions to delay hearings, challenging the valuation again and again. He was dragging it out, hoping I'd cave, take a smaller settlement, maybe even back off completely. I didn't flinch. I had the documentation, the signatures, the bank records, and months of legal prep behind me. I wasn't running on rage anymore, I was running on structure. strategy, patience. Evan kept me grounded. Anytime I wanted to slam a desk or tell someone to go to hell, he reminded me, keep your cool, let the paper do the talking. So I did. Ryan's team came back asking for mediation. We said no. Then they asked for a new valuation on their terms using their guy. We said no again. Jenna's lawyer tried spinning the relationship as common law to get financial leverage. Evan laughed and pointed to the lease, the individual bank accounts, and the full breakup documentation. She didn't have a leg to stand on. The pressure started shifting. You could feel it. Their side scrambling, filing nonsense paperwork just to slow things down. Ours? Quiet, efficient, focused. They were bleeding money trying to stall. I was fine waiting. I had already moved on in every way but legal. About 2 weeks into the legal back and forth, I got a text from an old college buddy who worked over at Monroe Insurance in Albany. Hey man, didn't your ex-fiancée work here? I just sent back. Yeah. Why? He replied with a screenshot of a group Slack thread, blurred names, but Jenna's drama was front and center. Someone had forwarded one of her texts about me publicly humiliating her at Thanksgiving. Then someone else replied with, wait, didn't she cheat with his cousin? I didn't have to say anything. It was already unraveling. 3 days later, she was let go. No big HR announcement, no exit lunch. Just quietly removed from the employee roster. Meanwhile, Ryan was circling the drain too. Kara, his girlfriend, ex now, moved out of their place and back to her sister's house in Rochester. She posted something vague online about betrayal from people you trusted most, and tagged no one. She blocked both Ryan and Jenna by the end of the day. The group chats got real quiet after that. Guys I used to grab beers with stopped tagging Ryan in anything. No more invites. A few even texted me on the side like, hey man, I didn't know it was that bad. Sorry. But Jenna? She wasn't done yet. She started calling mutual friends, trying to flip the story. Telling people I was emotionally distant, cold, controlling. Said I forced her to stay in the relationship when she wasn't happy. Tried to spin it like she fell into Ryan's arms out of desperation. I let her talk for about a week. Then I pulled out the screenshots. Not the dirty ones. Just the cold ones. Her and Ryan mocking me behind my back. Making fun of how clueless I was. Talking about which weekend they'd sneak off to Saratoga while I thought she was at a work seminar. Planning it. Bragging about it. I sent those to 3 people, friends who hadn't taken a side yet. Just enough to let the truth breathe. Didn't take long. One by one, people stopped defending her. A few sent me the classic, damn, man. That's brutal messages and went silent. Others didn't say anything at all, just quietly unfollowed her. I never told anyone to pick me over them. I just stopped pretending the truth needed help. While they all spiraled, I kept my head down at the shop. Ray and I made a temp schedule, split the load between the 2 of us, brought in a part-timer from my cousin's old high school, paid him cash. I covered the late shifts, the weekends, even ran the front desk some mornings. It wasn't easy, but it was mine. Every bolt, every invoice, every car that rolled out of that garage was handled right. The phones rang. Appointments stayed booked. Guys brought their trucks in and cracked jokes like nothing had happened. I liked it that way. Let them wreck each other. I had work to do. I didn't want to go to Grandma's birthday. I only showed up because she was turning 80 and had no clue what went down between me and Ryan. Everyone else knew. The air in that house was thick with tension. Fake smiles, short hugs, eyes darting away. I barely made it through the lasagna and cake before Ryan caught me. He waited until most of the family moved to the living room, then followed me out to the garage while I grabbed a drink from the extra fridge. I heard the door shut behind me. Kyle, he said, can we talk? I didn't answer, just cracked open a beer and leaned against the workbench. He stood near the old lawnmower, looking smaller than I remembered. I'm broke, man, he said quietly. I'm drowning. The legal fees, rent, everything. I can't afford to start over. I took a slow sip. Not my problem. I'm not asking for a handout, just more time, or even a partial buyout, something to hold me over until I figure things out. I shook my head. No, You're seriously gonna leave me with nothing? He said, stepping closer. After everything we built together? I looked him dead in the eye. You burned it. I'm just walking away from the fire. He clenched his jaw, then dropped his gaze like he couldn't hold mine. I lost Kara, he muttered. She's gone. I called her 3 times last week. Nothing. She blocked me. I'm sleeping on a buddy's couch. I've got $300 to my name. I didn't move. I've got nothing left, man. Yeah, I said. That's on you. You chose her. You chose to lie. You chose to gut our business while you played house behind my back. His shoulders sank. He ran both hands through his hair and let out a shaky breath. I messed up, he said. I know that, but I didn't think it would get this bad. I thought maybe you'd come around, that maybe we could fix something. You didn't mess up, I said. You made a choice over and over. Now you live with it. He looked up at me, eyes glassy. Please, man, just give me something. Anything. I finished my beer, tossed the empty can into the bin, and stepped past him without a word. Kyle, he said, voice cracking. Don't do this. I stopped at the door, hand on the knob. You already did. Then I walked out and left him standing there, alone in the dark, surrounded by rusted tools and old regrets. A week after Grandma's birthday, Ryan folded. Evan called me on a Tuesday morning. His lawyer just admitted they can't win. We're setting a date to finalize the buyout. I showed up at the law office Thursday at 9 sharp. Ryan was already there, sitting in the corner like a dog that knew it pissed on the carpet. Didn't look up. Didn't say a word. The conference room was silent except for pages turning and pens scratching paper. His lawyer walked him through every line, and he signed like a robot, hand shaking slightly, eyes locked on the table. When it was my turn, I signed fast. No hesitation. After the last signature, Evan looked at me and nodded. The shop is yours. Ryan stood up slowly. Still no eye contact. No handshake. No words. He walked out without a sound, leaving behind his pen and whatever pride he had left. The next day was Jenna's turn. We were in county court, small room, maybe 15 people total. She sat across from me in a tight blazer and fake sympathy face. Her lawyer looked confident until the judge started reading. Direct quotes from her texts, word for word. Let's play dumb for another few weeks. Kyle doesn't suspect a thing. I'll get what I want either way. Her lawyer went pale. You could see him shift in his chair like he was trying to disappear. Jenna sat frozen, lips tight, one hand gripping her skirt. The judge didn't raise his voice. Didn't have to. No spousal support. No shared assets. No basis for emotional or financial claim. She is entitled to her personal belongings. Nothing more. I nodded once. Didn't smile. Just took the win and kept it moving. Outside the courthouse, she didn't say a word to me. Didn't even look my way. Her sister came to help her carry a box of stuff from my place. Clothes, books, some makeup. That was the last I saw of either of them. Ryan's situation went downhill fast. His lawyer dropped him after unpaid invoices stacked up. Word was he sold his truck, maxed 2 credit cards, and couldn't keep up with rent. A month later, someone mentioned he'd moved down to North Carolina. Said he was crashing on a buddy's couch, trying to get a job at a tire shop. I didn't reach out. Didn't need to. I had my business. I had my peace. And I had no interest in fixing anything that had tried that hard to break me. 12 months later, the shop was the busiest it had ever been. I brought in a new manager, Beth. Smart, no nonsense, ran the office tighter than I ever could. We added tire rotations, alignments, even started doing custom exhaust work. Saturdays used to be dead. Now we had a wait list. I moved out of the old apartment and bought a place 5 minutes from the shop. Nothing huge, but clean, quiet, and mine. No shared closets. No old memories. I'd been seeing someone for a couple months. Claire. Down to earth, works at a vet clinic, loves bad diner coffee and 90s country. One night after dinner, she asked about the scar tissue, why I didn't talk about my ex, why I flinched when my phone lit up late. So I told her. Everything. Start to finish. She didn't judge. She just nodded and said, "You handled that better than most would." A week later, I got an email from Ryan. Subject line, "Apology." Didn't open it. Didn't need to. Just deleted it and emptied the trash. Few days after that, a number I didn't recognize sent a text. "Can we talk?" I knew who it was. Blocked it without replying. Then came Mom. Called me up in late November. Said she was planning Christmas early this year, trying to get the whole family together. I didn't raise my voice. Just told her straight, "Not interested." She didn't push. Truth is, I wasn't angry anymore. Not bitter. Just done. I stopped chasing closure. Stopped hoping people would get it. I learned how to trust my gut again, how to draw the line early, and not wait around while someone crosses it twice. Ryan and Jenna? They weren't part of my life anymore. Not really people to me now, just lessons I won't forget.